Commander Zixtal of the Hegemony Fleet adjusted his neural dampeners as the human vessel Defiance drifted into weapons range. The sleek destroyer bore scorch marks from a dozen previous engagements, yet it maintained its stubborn trajectory toward the blockade line. "Analysis complete, Commander," his tactical officer reported, mandibles clicking nervously. "Single human vessel. Crew complement 200. Standard armament. No threat to the fleet." Zixtal's compound eyes narrowed. In his 3 centuries of military service, he had learned never to underestimate humans. They were the galaxy's most unpredictable species, illogical, emotional, and dangerously creative. The Galactic Concordat had banned music from warfare precisely because of what humans had done during the siege of Kepler 442. "Open a channel," Zixtal commanded. The view screen flickered to life, revealing Captain Sarah Chen of Earth's Colonial Defense Force. Her dark hair was tied back in regulation style, but her eyes held that peculiar human intensity that made most alien species uncomfortable. "This is Commander Zixtal of the 4th Hegemony Fleet. You are ordered to surrender immediately. Your colony's rebellion ends here." Captain Chen smiled, another unsettling human expression. "Commander, I have a counter-proposal. How about you withdraw your fleet, and we'll pretend this little misunderstanding never happened. You face a fleet of 300 vessels with a single destroyer. Surrender now, and your crew will be treated according to Concordat protocols." 300 ships, Chen mused, leaning back in her captain's chair. "That's a lot. Tell me, Commander, do you know why music was banned from galactic warfare?" Zixtal's carapace bristled. "Ancient history is irrelevant to current tactical situations." "Oh, but it's not ancient at all. It was only 50 years ago at Kepler 442. Your people were there, weren't they? The Hegemony, the Cathari Empire, the Triloth Confederacy, all of you united for once laying siege to a single human world. The memory banks confirmed it. Kepler 442 had been humanity's most defiant colony, refusing to accept Concordat authority. The combined alien fleets had surrounded the planet, expecting quick capitulation. Instead, they had encountered something unprecedented. "The siege lasted 6 months," Chen continued conversationally. "Your fleets had orbital superiority, numerical advantage, every tactical benefit. But you couldn't break us. Do you know why?" Before Zixtal could respond, something impossible happened. Music began to play. It started softly, a single human voice, clear and haunting, drifting across the communication channels. Then instruments joined, drums that seemed to echo the rhythm of a beating heart, strings that soared and dipped like stellar winds, brass that rang out like the call of ancient earth horns. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Zixtal recognized the melody immediately. Every military officer in the galaxy did. It was the song that had broken the siege of Kepler 442, the harmonic weapon that had somehow synchronized the neural patterns of 3 different species, creating a resonance cascade that disabled an entire fleet. "Impossible," Zixtal whispered. "Music is banned. Harmonic weapons are prohibited under Section 7 of the Concordat military codes." "This isn't a weapon, Commander," Chen replied, her voice mixing with the ancient human hymn. "This is what we call a morale booster. You see, when you banned music from warfare, you made a fundamental error in understanding human nature." The song was spreading. Zixtal could see it on his sensors. Similar harmonic patterns emerging from other human vessels hidden throughout the system. Ships that had been running silent, positioned at precisely calculated intervals. "You thought you were disarming us," Chen continued as the music swelled. "But humans don't weaponize music. Music weaponizes humans." Across the Hegemony Fleet, crews began to experience the same phenomenon that had occurred at Kepler 442. The carefully modulated frequencies triggered involuntary neural responses. Not harmful but profoundly disorienting, warriors trained for combat found themselves overwhelmed by unfamiliar emotions. The Cathari, with their heightened auditory sensitivity, were particularly affected. Their crew members reported feeling what humans called wonder for the first time in their lives. "That saved a wretch like me." The song reached its crescendo, and suddenly space around the blockade fleet erupted with light. Not weapons fire, but humanity's true secret weapon, hope made manifest. 47 human vessels decloaked simultaneously, each one broadcasting the same hymn that had once moved their ancestors to cross oceans and climb mountains. But this wasn't an attack. It was an invitation. Every species in this galaxy has forgotten something crucial, Chen said as her crew joined the chorus, their voices harmonizing across the void. You've all become so focused on conquest, on territory and resources and strategic advantages, that you've forgotten why sentient beings explore the stars in the first place. The music was having an unprecedented effect. Hegemony crews were abandoning their battle stations not in retreat, but in something resembling curiosity. For the first time in centuries, they were experiencing something their rigid military hierarchy had never allowed: the recognition of beauty. At Kepler 442, your fleets didn't retreat because you were defeated militarily, Chen explained. You retreated because for 6 hours, while amazing grace played across every communication channel, every member of every crew experienced what humans call transcendence. You remembered what it felt like to be more than just conquerors. Commander Zixtal found his own neural dampeners failing. The music was reaching frequencies that bypassed technological interference, speaking directly to whatever spark of consciousness existed in all sentient beings. I once was lost, but now am found. This is your choice, Commander, Chen said gently. You can continue this blockade, knowing that 47 human ships are prepared to sing every song in our cultural database until your crews remember what they're fighting for. Or you can acknowledge that maybe, just maybe, there's a better way for our species to explore this galaxy together. Zixtal looked around his bridge. His tactical officer was weeping, a biological response his species wasn't supposed to possess. His communications specialist had removed her neural dampeners entirely, listening to the human voices with something approaching reverence. For the first time in his long military career, Commander Zixtal made a decision based not on tactical advantage or strategic necessity, but on something far more dangerous and far more human: hope. Fleet Command, he said quietly. This is Zixtal. Calling off the blockade. All ships, withdraw to minimum safe distance. Was blind, but now I see. As the combined human voices faded into the cosmic background radiation, Captain Chen smiled once more. Thank you, Commander. Maybe next time we meet it can be under better circumstances. The Defiance altered course, heading home to a world that would remain free. Not because humanity had superior weapons or better tactics, but because they had never forgotten that music wasn't meant to be a tool of war. It was meant to remind warriors why peace was worth fighting for.